Okay, so let's do this. May 1st. End game. Starting in 2024, all U.S. debt issuance will be used to pay for interest on the debt. So the country pretty much will not be making any money in 2024 because everything is just going to go towards the debt, and that's what happens, and that's what's happened. And there are, like I've been saying for years, people, and that's why I don't make videos anymore, because I just don't think people understand. Either they don't believe me or they just don't understand basic math. There are no historical examples of a debt like ours being handled, paid off, or whatever. There are no historical examples of this, people. None. You can call it fear-mongering, whatever you want to call it. It's not a political problem, it's a math problem. All right? And then whenever you have a guy like Trump coming out here blabbing and bragging about how awesome the economy is, but asking for quantitative easing, begging for it, pleading for it, for cut rates, that doesn't make any sense. Basically, what he's bragging about is that his hot air balloon is being kept afloat by an air compressor. And you're like, hey, take that air. How about a bouncy house? A bounce house, right? Hey, yeah, that's great. Turn that air compressor off and let's see how long that bounce house stays afloat. But he knows he needs the air compressor, but it doesn't make any sense, guys. You can't brag about an economy and then beg for more help. Like, it doesn't. That's why people just don't understand it. Like, they just don't understand. 6 months ago, I showed you the Federal Reserve said 2 more rate hikes this year. 3 months later, they said no more rate hikes. Now, last week, 3 months later again, they said now there's rumors and hope and chatter. The stock market is going up based on hopes that they will cut rates. Okay, they had that. The last 6 months, for anyone who doesn't even understand like economics or what's happening on Wall Street, period, the last 6 months should be an eye-opener enough to at least make you say, well, these people clearly don't know what they're doing. But again, and this is all on top of an inverted yield curve. But like again, I don't think people just don't understand they just don't understand it. It's like, it really is like that movie Idiocracy, which all started with crop failures. Like, people just don't understand this stuff. They worried about the election and thinking it's a math problem, people. Like, and there's no historical examples of our debt being handled or paid back. It all ends with, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And if that's not good enough for you, remember this. Here's the eclipse path. It came down in 2017, comes back up in 2024. Is that not in itself like pretty amazing? Endgame 2024. And here, hey, if you're a fan of the Big Bang creation theory, or we were created by our family, our heavenly father and our mother and all this, what have you, either way, guys, in either one of those creation stories, the sun, the moon, and the stars were here long before us. You're on the calendar now. I'm making this video on Wednesday, but today's not technically called Wednesday. Today's called Mercury. The stuff was here long before humanity was. So it looks like, which is amazing. So the sun says, big trouble for this region of the world in 2024. And look, math says we're out of time in 2024. This in itself is pretty unreal to me. They're going to devalue this dollar, which they've had a plan to do for a long time. Here it is in 2012, man. The Forbes magazine, the Federal Reserve's explicit goal, devalue the dollar by 33%. I mean, it's right here in their own words, people. The Federal Reserve has made it official after its latest 2-day meeting. It announced its goal, meaning its purpose, its drive, it's what they're working at, to devalue the dollar by 33% over the next 20 years. That was almost 8 years ago. And if this happens, you have to understand, listen to me. Because I honestly think and I came on here on live like 2 months ago, and so there's not going to be any trade deal with China anytime soon. And that's the thing. I'll probably get on here and do live, but I won't post it. So if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you don't. And I've been talking to a friend anyway since I told him in March, this trade deal isn't coming to an agreement anytime soon between Trump and China because it's all a plan. And when it does, I honestly think that's going to be when they devalue or reset the currency. And I've been right so far because they have not come to an agreement. And I've said since March that it's not going to happen at least until September, October, November. So is that going to be what happens? I don't know, but I'm half right so far because since February, really, been saying nope, there ain't no trade deal coming anytime soon, and the stock market's been buying it. And that's the only thing that's been keeping it up because they keep saying we're going to do it, we're not. We're going to do it, we're not. We're going to do it, we're not. Like this is a joke, everyone. But like again, that's why I just don't make videos. People just don't they just don't understand this stuff. It's just way too difficult for them, and I don't get it. It's math. It's just math. But it's just hope. That's all it is. Hopium. I've made those videos. Smoking that hopium past them shits. Look that up. Hiroshima 2012. Smoking that hopium past them shits. Like, this is ridiculous. You got a lot riding on this, everyone. You sure do, because it's looking more and more, and it already is, more and more what I've been saying for years, from the flooding, whether it's man-made, whether it's the 5G ionization, whether it's the galactic energy, the cosmic rays that are coming in faster than they ever predicted, more and more, and I'm sorry that NOAA or NASA or the government doesn't come out and say that cosmic rays cause precipitation, cause all sorts of stuff, that affect the weather, all of that. Sorry they won't say that, but if you do your own research, you'll find that there's plenty of independent studies and plenty of research that you can do for yourself. Like I've been showing you and telling you for years that my research and all this research shows that all these cosmic rays, which we're being bombarded with more and more every day, getting worse by the day, faster by the day, it causes all this moisture, which means you're going to get more flooding. So whether it's man-made, 5G, cosmic rays, it doesn't change the fact that it's happening. So again, you've got a lot riding on this. I mean, pretty much everything. Because if any of this stuff, if the dollar gets devalued, if we get flooded out, Washington, I don't care if it's 2,000 pounds in a ton, 2,000 miles across, 2,000, I'm referencing the number, 2,000. So whether this place is washed away by the floods or washed away by mega tsunamis, Washington, because this place is getting washed clean. So you got a lot riding on this because it's looking more and more, has been since microchipping is just a commonplace thing now. Alexa, the NSA, Big Brother listening, recording, all that's legit now. The drones, if this stuff happens, that I'm telling you, that means your shit is bullshit. Trump saving the day, even all this stuff, a lot of this, I'm not saying what's in the Bible is bullshit. I'm saying it's been there before. This stuff I found all this out from the long time before. Stuff before Christianity was even around, people. Long time before Christianity was even around. There has been stuff saying that this shit's going to happen long before the Bible came around. I love that book. There's lots of great things in there, but I'm telling you, that stuff was based on stuff before. So I'm a dude with no degree. I've been on here for 7 years. And I've been mocked and scoffed at, and the experts are saying this and that and the other, that I'm the antithesis of what I'm saying, but boy, here we are. It's amazing. I mean, whenever I saw that last week in the Federal Reserve, well, first of all, whenever it went from 2 rate hikes to no more this year within 3 months, that alone, but again, people don't understand what that means. And then 3 months later, for them to be like, maybe we're going to cut them, or at least give the kind of cock tease the stock market with it, because that's the only thing that drove the market up, which I've shown you. Like, this is good luck, everyone, and I mean that, good luck. Good luck to you. I think y'all are nuts. Like, honestly, I think y'all are nuts. But hey, your religious systems, your education, your political systems, your voting systems, Whenever I'm proven right in about a year and a half, max, all your shit's ridiculous. I proved it all. I've debunked it all. I've proved how it's all bullshit. I have. In 7 years, I've shown you. Without a doubt. So good luck. This is another reason why I think things are changing. And they're going to change real soon. And I think this is where the monetary stuff's really going to come in. Might not be till January of next year. Might not be till December of this year. But it's coming within the next 18 months. I believe that. And I hope that he does devalue the dollar, because just like I shown you in Venezuela, then people were starving to death. But the stock market was all-time highs, baby. So I hope he does devalue the dollar. I hope all this stuff with this crop failures, people can finally get what the flooding means and how it's all not a hoax and it's not bullshit. And I just hope people can finally understand when they see the stock market and Trump bragging and the news bragging about the stock market's all-time high, but people are literally, millions of people, children starving in the streets, just like Venezuela. Maybe then you'll get it, and then maybe we'll quit cheering that on, because people are still cheering on socialism. Yeah, bring it on. You got babies dying in hospitals, starving in the streets because of socialism, and people are cheering it on. So I say people they just don't facts. It doesn't matter anymore. It's what I think and what I believe. That's it. Math, none of that shit matters. The stars, the sun, and the moon, none of that shit matters, even though it was here long before us. But that's humanity for you. That's mankind's ego to say, nah, that don't mean nothing. I don't care that was here, bazillions of years before me. You can say what you want to. This shit's based on this stuff, because what you're looking at right here wouldn't be happening, guys, period. Here's Pluto. Don't quote me on this. I'm sure this is Pluto, right? Don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure, but this is really close to where it was. Whenever the United States was discovered, founded, whatever, established July 4th, 1776, right around here. Pluto spends 11 to 32 years, 11 to 32 years, I think, right? Or is it 23? No, 32. Like 11 to 32 years in each cycle. Crazy range, right? But that's just what they tell you. 10 to 30 years in each sign, which means it takes a long time to go all the way around the pie. Pluto, another name for Pluto is transformation. So what's going to happen in late December of this year, really in January of next year, is when Pluto will come back to the exact position, meaning what is that? Let's just do the math real quick. Let me grab my phone. And let's just do an average of like 20 years, because it's 11 to 32, right? So let's do 20 years times 12. 240 years, at the very least, to go around this pie, all the way around. Well, guess what? Where it was, July 4th, 1776, when this place was established, founded, whatever, it's going to come all the way around and go back to that exact same position that it was when this place was established in late December, early January. That's huge. Transformation all the way around the pie, 200 and some years later. Then we have Venus completing its pentagram dance in June of 2020. We have the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in 2020. In late December, of 2020. And then we also have the Mars and Eris conjunction next year, which is huge. So plenty of reasons to clearly see why things are going to change. And I'd like to see, because I don't know, for those of you who don't live in Illinois, Illinois just passed a minimum wage bill. Starting in January, it's going to go to $9.25. Starting in July of next year, it's going to go to $10. Then it's going to go up $1 every year until 2025, when it reaches $15. I don't know how that's going to work. This state cannot pay. My last job, I had to fight tooth and nail to get 32 hours a week at $8.25, and they told me it's $1 billion company, so we can't guarantee you that. If you can't pay workers at $8.25, how are you going to do it at $9.25, $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15? How are you going to do it? I got a new job in March, and my boss literally, I'm not making this up, literally looked at me and said, come the first of the year, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I love it. I think it's great, because I'm expecting it. I'm waiting for it. I'm a cheerleader, baby. I love it. Let's bring this shit on. So transformation's complete in just about 6 months, according to Pluto.